Hi, I'm Mairlyn. Welcome back to My Left Frying Pan. All right, so my fans know I have some food issues, okay? Food issue number one, don't boil the living crap out of your eggs. Come on, people. I did an egg wrap video, literally a wrap video. Because it's not hard boiling, baby. It's freaking hard cooked. Number two, sweet potatoes and yams. Not the same things, people. Oh, no. Check out the video and you'll get straightened out.
I'm a sweet potato. He's a yam. Yeah, I'm a yam.
And number three, and there could be more, I don't know, but my number three right now is the difference between cocoa and hot chocolate. They're not the same. No. Today on My Left Frying Pan, I'm going to straighten you out. I'm going to make a hot cocoa, a hot chocolate, and I've got a special one for adults. And stick around to the very end because we've got another giveaway and it's a surprise. So the big difference between cocoa and hot chocolate is that cocoa is made with cocoa powder and hot chocolate is made with melted chocolate. And they taste really different. So I'm doing a blind taste test and I have the three mugs here. I've got the adult one and the cocoa and the hot chocolate. And to make sure that I'm not cheating, we're going to have them rearranged. Okay. Okay, and now to taste them. Number one. Number two. Number three. Adult hot chocolate cocoa. Is that right? So you can buy cocoa mixes in the grocery store and that's fine and dandy, but I find that they're too sweet. And I like to make my own. I call it my master mix. Okay, the first and most important thing is that you have to pick the right cocoa powder. So you're looking for on the package, either it's going to say raw or it's going to say natural. And that means it hasn't been processed. And the reason that you want natural or raw is that when they process cocoa powder, which makes it less lumpy and more mixable, they reduce the antioxidants by 2/3. So when you have raw or natural cocoa powder, you're getting all those heart healthy benefits. So this recipe calls for equal parts of cocoa to sugar. And when you're measuring it out, sometimes the natural cocoa powder is a little bit lumpy, and so I like to put it through a strainer. You don't have to measure it really accurately, but I like to just make sure that there's no lumps. Look at all those lumps in there in the bottom. So just press them out with a spoon. The back of a wooden or a metal spoon is good. Okay, that was easy. And then we're going to add an equal amount of sugar. So that was 1 cup of cocoa powder. I've got a 1/2 cup measure and I'm adding 1 cup of white sugar. And I should never have stuck the cocoa in there. Now my sugar is going to taste like cocoa. Oh, who cares? Anyway, you're going to whisk it together. And you can get your kids to help you with this because it's really easy. Cocoa powder all over the girls. And you just put them into a glass jar and that's it. So we've got our master cocoa mix all ready to make our first hot cocoa recipe. And, oh, just a minute. I wonder what this one is. Oh, that's definitely adults only. So for heart-healthy cocoa, I'm going to use my cocoa mix. And another reason why I like to make my own mix is because I know that I use the really good cocoa powder, where if you bought a cocoa mix, they probably used a Dutch processed cocoa mix or cocoa powder, and it's not going to have the same heart-healthy benefits. All right, so we're going to, you can double, triple, quadruple this recipe, but it's basically 1 cup of milk. Now you can use soy beverage or rice beverage or almond beverage, whichever one that you want. I'm using skim milk. There was this really cool study that they showed people that had 5 tablespoons of natural cocoa powder and skim milk actually lower their blood pressure. So that's pretty cool. Don't do that on your own if you're on blood pressure medication. Go talk to your doctor before you start willy-nilly doing this. So when this milk is hot, we're going to add 2 tablespoons of the cocoa mix and whisk it up. So I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of my cocoa mix, my master mix. You just sprinkle it on the top of the hot milk. It's got to be hot or it won't work. And then you just whisk it in. And turn off the heat, and that's it. How cinchy was that? Pour it into a beautiful mug. I've got a great mug here. Hot cocoa for one. Cheers. It's really hot. So the second cocoa recipe is a chai infused one. It's a recipe I created for Healthy Starts Here. But just first of all, I just want to see if I can just make sure what this one is. Oh yeah, that's the adults only. It's really, really good. Okay, so for the chai infused ones, I have some black cardamom. I have cloves, whole cloves. I have whole allspice. I have green cardamom and whole peppercorns. And then I have cocoa powder and some sugar. It's twice as much cocoa powder as sugar, so this isn't even as sweet as the regular hot cocoa. And I'm using 2 cups of skim milk. And we're going to steep all these spices in the milk for about 10 minutes. So we're just going to whisk together the cocoa powder and the sugar, and 10 minutes is up. So we're going to add the cocoa powder sugar mixture and whisk that in with a bigger whisk until it's all dissolved. Okay, so the only tricky part about this is that you have to pour it through a strainer, okay? And if you want your chai-infused cocoa to be stronger, you could have got a mortar and pestle and then, pounded all those spices up. And of course I'm spilling it all over the counter, but it's easier to pour it into a strainer like this than into a cup. And then I just transfer it into my mug, and chai-infused cocoa with tons of antioxidants in it. It's going to be too hot to drink too. Oh, but it smells fantastic. Oh, so good. Recipe number 3 is the hot chocolate. Okay, what do you do with hot chocolate? You're going to use a cup of milk. This is for 1 serving. And we're going to melt some dark chocolate. The darker, the better. And that's the hot chocolate. And then we're going to add one of these special ingredients to make sure that it's the adults only. But just to make sure, I'm just going to see whether or not I can still tell that this is a... Oh yeah, that's adults only. And I think I put, I think I put this one in. Let me just give it a go. Oh yeah, that's the one. Yeah, so it's a thumbs up. So we're adding 1 cup of milk. I'm using skim milk again, and we're going to heat that up in the pot. And when it starts to get warm, I'm going to add the 1 ounce of dark chocolate. And then we have to stir it with a wooden spoon until it dissolves, and then I'm going to whisk it. So there's the dark chocolate. I'm going to put it in, and with a wooden spoon or a paddle, I'm going to stir this until the chocolate melts. It's going to take a while. The chocolate is melted. Here comes the magic time with this special ingredient. So here's our hot chocolate. Hopefully I won't spill this one. No, excellent pour. And now your kids could have this hot chocolate one too, but to make it an adults only, we're going to put just a wee bit of, whoops, too much. Don't let your kids eat this one. Oh, hey. The good news is that we are giving away 3 copies of Healthy Starts Here to 3 lucky subscribers. So if you want to get a copy of this, it's one of my very favorite books. I talk about farts in it and beans, and it basically looks at all the healthy foods that you can eat on a regular basis that will make you feel fantastic. So 3 lucky subscribers. So subscribe and tell me your favorite thing about spring. No. Come on. Really? Oh, okay, my bad. Okay, I should have been more specific. I should have said something like, tell me your favorite healthy thing to eat every day. Okay, that's what. So to enter, you have to subscribe and then tell me what your favorite healthy thing to eat every day is. Okay, so, oh yeah, you can subscribe by touching, just hit me in the face. Or you can also get my recipe from last week. So in the meantime, I wish you peace, love, and fiber. And did you know that cocoa powder has fiber in it? So this is loaded with booze and fiber. Woo-hoo!